Hello children, welcome back to my channel. I am Dr. Mini Dhawan and today I will take CBSE class 9 chapter 2 of economics, people as resource. As you know, India has the second largest population in the world. And while you see there are certain drawbacks of such a big population, but it can become an asset for the country also. The citizen, they can be an asset to the country rather than a liability. Their skill, knowledge is a resource that can be utilized for economic activities. So let us check how people as a resource can contribute to our economy. This chapter will make you understand how people are considered and can be used as a resource. This chapter talks about basic necessities of people to lead a happy normal life. Let's when overview first what exactly we will read in this chapter. First is economic activities by men and women, then our quality of population, and then unemployment, how it deters the population. People as resource in a way of referring to a country's working people in terms of their existing productive skills and abilities. Like other resources, the population is also considered as human resource. Population becomes human capital when there is investment made in the form of education, training, and medical care. Human capital is the stock of skill and productive knowledge embodied in them. People as a resource are a way of referring to a country's working people in terms of their existing productive skills and abilities. When the existing human resource is further developed by becoming more educated and healthy, we call it human capital formation. That adds to the productive power of the country, just like physical capital formation. Investment in human capital through education, training, medical care yields a return just like investment in physical capital. Now, it increases the productivity of the workers. Educated, trained, and healthy people can be used can use natural resources in a better way. It adds to the quality of labor. You know, if we look at the working population in terms of their productive skills and abilities, they contribute to the creation of gross national product. Now, what is this gross national product? It is the estimation of value of the final goods and services produced by a country in given period of time. So, human resource is different from other resources. How they are different? They are different from land and physical capital. See, land consists of all natural resources. These are provided to us by nature. Physical capital consists of all these objects that help in further production of different type of goods and services. Human resource, on the other hand, consists of knowledge and skills. Other resources, they are not capable of bringing about an improvement by their own effort. They can be changed by human resources. They do not have their brain. Human resources, on the other hand, can be trained to perform any task which is required, to give education, training, and healthcare. These in turn are again provided by human resources. Thus, human resources, unlike other factor resources, have an ability to improve themselves. Now, population is an asset of the economy rather than a liability. How? Population for very long time had been seen as a liability which slows down the rate of economic growth. this view of population was based on the fact that population represented the stock of human being. Human beings make a demand on nations' resources for their survival. Larger the population, more the resources like food, health, facilities, etc. They would be required for the survival of the population. Hence, population would be treated as a liability. However, this view of population is not a correct one. More important thing is that population is source of supply of the most important factor, resource, and that is human capital. It is human capital that organizes the population activity and makes other factor resources work. It is in this sense that stock of knowledge and skills that constitutes human resource is a valuable asset. We may note that unless human beings are converted into human resource, they may still continue to be a liability on the country. Importance of human capital formation. Investment in human resource via education and medical care can give high rates of return in the future. This investment on people is same as the investment in the land capital. Virtuous cycle of human development. Here we are saying virtuous cycle. Two terms are there, virtuous and vicious. It refers to the chain of events. Virtuous gives favorable results and vicious, it gives unfavorable, detrimental results. Now here we are talking about educated parents. They invest more heavily on the education of their child. This is because they have realized the importance of education themselves. They are also conscious of proper nutrition and hygiene. They accordingly look after their children's need for education at school and good health. A virtuous cycle is thus created in this case. You know, a vicious cycle may be created by disadvantaged parents, also who themselves are uneducated and are lacking in hygiene. So, keeping the children in similar manner, similar disadvantaged state. Here we will take the example of two children, Sakal and Vilas. Now, these are two friends, Vilas and Sakal. They live in a same village, Simapur. Sakal is a 12-year-old boy. His mother is, she looks after the domestic chores, and his father, he works on a agriculture field. Now, Sakal at his home, he is helping his mother with domestic chores and is also taking care of his younger brother and sister. He has an uncle who has passed his matriculation examination and he is sitting in the house idle as he has no job to do. So, parents of Sakal, they force him to join a village school and later he completes his higher education. His father, he persuades him to continue his studies and he raises a loan for Sakal to study a vocational course in computers. Now, Sakal was brilliant and was interested in studies from the beginning. So, with great enthusiasm, he completes a course and he gets a job in a private firm. Then there designs a software. This software helps him to increase the sale of the firm. His boss, he acknowledges this and he rewards him with a promotion. On the other hand, there is a story of Vilas. Vilas was an 11-year-old boy residing in the same village as Sakal. His father is dead, he was a fisherman, and his mother, she also sells fish to earn money to feed the family. She bought fish from the landowner's pond and sells in nearby area, getting 20 to 30 rupees a day by selling a fish. Vilas becomes a patient of arthritis and his mother cannot afford him to take to the doctor and he's not even going to school. He's just helping his mother in the household chores, in cooking and taking care of his younger brother. When his mother falls sick, he is not having anybody in the family to support, so he starts selling fish. So in these two case studies, we have seen that Sakal went to school and Sakal was like physically strong and healthy, while Vilas, he did not go to school and he was not that healthy. He had medical problem of arthritis. Now Sakal, he acquired a degree in computer programming and found a job and in a private firm, and while Vilas worked same as his mother was working and had a very little income like his mother to support the family. So now a child too with investment made on the education and health can yield a high return in the future in the form of higher earning and great contribution to the society. This we can draw from these two stories. Like we have seen countries like 12 countries like Japan, they have invested a lot in the field of education and health, and they do not have any natural resource. Still, it is one of the 12 countries, as they have invested heavily in human resources through education and health. Now, they have invested, so they have sought the returns also. The skilled and the trained people have made efficient use of other resources like land and capital. Efficiency and technology evolved by people have made these countries rich and developed. So today we have learned that human population can be an asset for a country by investing education and health care services in it. Otherwise, they will turn into a liability. So very soon I'll come back with the second part of the chapter. Till then, keep learning. God bless.